Executive Branch, written by Keith and Sarah Cotton Morton. Introduction. President Lyndon B. Johnson looked into television cameras. "My fellow Americans," he said, "I am about to sign into law as the civil law." Johnson explained that the act called for Americans of every race to be treated equally in classroom, hotel, restaurant, and the voting booth. Before the Civil Rights Act, Black Americans could not attend the same schools or eat in the same restaurant as white Americans. Black Americans were often prevented from voting, and we still working together to ensure voting rights for all today. Johnson finished his remark and signed the bill, using a different pen for every letter, period, and dash. By the time he finished, he had used over 75 pens. He gave the pens as a gift to supporters who were standing in the room. Including Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. The signing of the Civil Rights was an important day in the U.S. history. However, for the President of the United States, most days still evolve in a full schedule. In one day, the President might meet with members of Congress, make a televised speech, visit a school or hospital, sign a bill into law, and host elders from other countries. The President is the head of the U.S. government, and no day is exactly like another. This is the executive branch at work. The executive branch is the U.S. Constitution. In the 1788 American Leader Board adopted the Constitution of the United States. In the document outlined a system of law and principles to help govern a young country, a system that has evolved but is still in effect today. The Constitution serves as a blueprint for the U.S. government and divides it into three departments. The legislative branch, which consists of the House of Representatives and the Senate, represents the citizens and makes laws. The judicial branch oversees the U.S. justice system through its system of court. At times, the different branches cooperate and compromise. At other times, they oppose each other. The function and power of the executive branch are laid in Article 2 of the Constitution. This branch is responsible for carrying out the laws created by Congress. To that end, it appoints the heads of the federal agency, including the cabinet. When the Constitution was written, the formation of the executive branch caused a debate. Who would have the power to carry out laws? On one hand, the United States had just rebelled the king against the King of England. Several of the writers of the Constitution feared that placing too much power in the hands of the single head of states could send the young United States back to a monarchy. On another hand, in the year after the Revolutionary War, the United States has experimented with a government that had no executive branch to carry out laws. After 8 years, the government fell apart. The framers of the Constitution eventually decided that the country needed a strong executive of the United States. They also gave the president broad power and allowed the person to sentence as a lord. However, the president is not a king. The presidency is an elected position. Many president actions are overseen by Congress, and the federal Of course, the Constitution lists three minimum required for the presidency. The president must be 35 or older, must be a natural born citizen of the United States, and must have lived in the United States for 13 years or more. How America choose a president. The United States is not a poor democracy in all which content citizens have an equal say in decision making. Rather, it is representative democracy in which the people elect government officials who make the decision in their name. Presidential elections are a good example. When the citizens of the United States cast their vote for president, according to the Article 2 of the Constitution, each state, the elector who votes directly for the president in the Electoral College is not a school. It is a body of voters who are responsible for selecting the president of the United States. The candidate who wins the majority of the national popular almost always win the presidency. However, that is not always the case. Each state's number of electoral votes depend on its population. Smaller states have more electors per person than larger states. This ensures smaller states a voice in the electoral college don't dominate the election. Although with this help smaller states, many dislike the electoral college because it means individual people's votes do not count equally. When the popular vote is close, the electoral votes can sometimes swing the balance in the favor of a candidate who has a fewer total of national worldwide, but wins enough electoral votes in key states to carry the election. As of 2020, the United States has 5 presidents who lost their popular vote but won the electoral vote. Organization in the executive branch. The executive branch includes many agencies and officials who report to the president and assist with the execution of law. For example, the executive branch includes a vice president who is elected along with the president. The vice president has many roles among them. They cast distinct votes in the Senate and are also expected to take over if the president cannot continue the duties. Over the course of the United States history, several vice presidents have become presidents after the death of the resignation of a serving president. For example, Lyndon B. Johnson took over as president after the assassination of John F. Kennedy. In 1963, General Ford became president after Richard Nixon resigned in 1974. The executive branch carried out the law set by the Congress through a large network of federal agencies, such as the Central Intelligence Agency and the Environmental Protection Agency. The departments such as the Department of the Treasury and Department of Education. The leaders of this department, appointed by the president, make up the president's cabinet. This network of agencies and departments has grown since the country's early history. George Washington's cabinet had only 4 members, when the current cabinet has more than a dozen. What the president does. Article 2 of the United States Constitution gives the president broad power. For example, the president is the commander-in-chief for the United States Armed Forces. They can send the American military anywhere to the world to keep peace or protect U.S. interests. The president also has the power to pardon criminals who are guilty of the federal crimes. Diplomacy is the management of the relationship wait, relationship with other countries. It is the responsibility of the President and the executive branch. The presidency appoints ambassadors confirmed by the U.S. Senate, who serve as representatives of the United States abroad. In order to help American businesses, the President has the power to create trade agreements with other countries and settle tariffs, which are special taxes on goods the United States import and export. The President also appoints a huge number of government officials, including Supreme Court Justice, cabinet members, and agency heads. Many of these appointments must be approved by the U.S. Senate. The President has an important role of the creation of laws. The executive branch does not write laws. The President has the power to approve or deny the law that Congress makes. A majority vote is the bill sent to the President. Presidents can say instead no to the bill and have assuming veto. In this case, the bill does not become law unless two-thirds of the members of the Congress vote to favor. Overriding to date, President veto. To date, U.S. Presidents have vetoed more than 2,500 bills. Historic action of the executive branch. The President also had the power to issue executive action. There are instructions from the President to the federal government dramatically impact the lives of American citizens during the Civil War. For example, President Abraham Lincoln's 1863 participation in rebel Southern states shall be forever free. And in 1935, President Franklin D. Roosevelt ordered a creation of the Works Progress Administration, which destroyed thousands of Americans during the lowest point of the Great Depression of the 1930s. The WPA employees built roads, energy, and even painted murals. However, some executive orders have as harmful result. However, one infamous example happened in 1942 following the devastating surprise attack on the Pearl Harbor, Hawaii by Japan, which brought the United States to the Second World War. After the attack, President Roosevelt signed another allowing the U.S. government to force Japanese American citizens from their home to the detention camps, where they were treated as the enemies of the government. Checks and balances. Under the Constitution, checks of the branches of government, the executive branch, legislative branch, and judicial branch serve as a check on others, preventing any one branch from assuming too much power. President veto power, for example, is a check on the legislative branch. Normally, Congress needs a president's signature to pass. Congress needs a president's signature a bill into the law, though Congress can override a veto with a two-thirds majority. This is quite difficult to accomplish when it is rare for one party to recommend a two-thirds majority in the Congress. Congress in turn checks the President, though the power to override the veto as well as its power to approve or deny the President's Supreme Court and Cabinet appointees. The Senate must also approve the President's treaties agreement of peace between nations. Although the President is commander of the U.S. Armed Forces, only Congress can officially declare war. Conclusion. So far, the government has set out the frames of the Constitution in 1788 has proven flexible and resilient. The power of the executive branch, along with the ways which we read and interpret the Constitution. The Constitution has been executed the national laws effectively. The government of the United States, therefore, still balances in its executive, legislative, and judicial branches, with the Constitution binding these three together. The power of presidency are likely to continue to evolve to meet the challenges in the future.
Sao nhiều thế? Sơ xa ra